So in this segment, we're going to be talking about Kay Burley's kind of really embarrassing and maybe slightly racist defense of Rishi Sunak over the Islamophobia allegations. I don't know why she kind of tried to defend him like this, so we're going to have a listen.
The Conservatives are not prepared to acknowledge the problem that's in front of them, then I don't see how action can follow from that. The first step in dealing with the problem is to acknowledge that there is a problem. If they're not prepared to accept that what Lee Anderson said is racist and Islamophobic, then that's pretty serious.
I mean, that's true. How are you supposed to combat a problem when you won't even acknowledge it? But what Burley says is so dumb.
Do you not acknowledge, though, what the Prime Minister is saying, given that his ethnicity, it proves that the government isn't Islamophobic?
How does Rishi Sunak being an Indian Hindu or kind of Indian descent deter the party he leads from being Islamophobic? Let's have a listen again.
That's pretty serious.
Do you not acknowledge, though, what the Prime Minister is saying, given that his ethnicity, it proves that the government isn't Islamophobic? How
could Rishi Sunak's ethnicity prove anything? Honestly, that's like saying, if we had Liz Truss in charge and she said there's no sexism, then or the Tory party isn't sexist, then it must be true. Like, this is genuinely one of the most brain dead takes I've ever heard. There is no religious hostilities between extremist some extremist Hindus in India and some extremist Muslims in India as well. Like, there's been lots of religious tensions between these two groups of people. Rishi Sunak is a Hindu. What religion is Rishi Sunak? He talks about it. His faith gives him purpose, whatever. He goes, I'm now a citizen of Britain, but I proudly say that I'm a Hindu. So what's his ethnicity have to do with any of this? Genuinely, what? Because he's brown, he must be Muslim or something? Or how can his party be Islamophobic because he's brown? I don't get it. What is this? Especially in a week where Sunak was, really criticising pro-Palestine marches. This is Matthew Wright saying, whenever he had to choose an example of extremism, talking about Rishi Sunak, he went with Palestinian peace marches rather than some of the hate peddlers on his own benches. Now, if he wanted to talk about the problems, in the country, he went for a very specific example, but he didn't talk about the far right in his party or the far right in general. To be honest, not properly, not mentioning them specifically. Examples like he did for the pro-Palestine people. And so for Kay Burley, let's play it again, right? This defence here is so brain dead, and I kind of wish Bridget Phillipson picked up on it, but I think sometimes politicians, they focus so much on their talking points, they kind of block everything else out.
Just saying, given that his ethnicity, do you not acknowledge, though, what the Prime Minister is saying, given that his ethnicity, it proves that the government isn't Islamophobic?
No, I don't get it. This is... I think Kay Burley is very hit and miss. Sometimes she can do really well in interviews. Sometimes she does appallingly bad. And this is one of the examples where you have someone who's done appallingly bad. Sunak's ethnicity has nothing to do with this. He can try and argue the party's not Islamophobic, but we've seen it with Lee Anderson. We've seen it with Suella Braverman. Even Liz Truss, when Steve Bannon said that he thinks Tommy Robinson is a hero, Liz Truss said nothing to counter that. So the argument of the Tory party not being Islamophobic or anything like that is complete garbage. And for her to say, what about Sunak's ethnicity? Like, who cares? Who cares, honestly? This is genuine stupidity here from someone who's one of the most senior kind of analysts or hosts of one of the biggest news channels in the UK. This is why we're in this mess. Because some people have brain dead takes, like this one here. Completely brain dead, honestly. So dumb. Like, I think she's relatively okay at her job, given that the bar is very low. But this is abysmal. This is absolutely abysmal. But anyways, let me know what you think in the comments below. Like, comment, share, subscribe, support the channel on Patreon if you can, and hopefully I'll see you in the next one.